Welcome to Metal Verbalizers. We have a great passion for underground metal and we really enjoy searching for new bands to listen to. The bands we feature on this podcast are bands that we have discovered and that we personally really like, so we want to share these bands with you. In these episodes, we invite musicians to have a chat with us about their bands. With that being said though, let's get straight into this episode. I'm Johan Verbalizer, and in this episode, we will verbalize Persecutor. Alright, so let's start by having you introduce yourself and your name and also what you do for the band.
Yeah, sure. My name is Stefan and I play guitar in the band called Persecutor. Yeah.
Right, so would you like to elaborate a little bit more about how you started playing and also a little bit about why you started and so on?
Oh, I will. I started playing music, I don't know, what's that, 16 years ago, something like
Right.
that. But I started out as a drummer, and I still love playing drums, and now I play guitar.
Right.
And it's fun, but I think I suck. But luckily enough, I had the opportunity. That's 8 years ago, more or less around this time of year, to kind of audition with the guys in Persecutor, and yeah, I didn't suck that much, so I I got the job along with
Right.
who is now the singer, and yeah, that's kind of like how the whole Persecutor thing started. I didn't really play in like bands before that. I
Right.
played some cover stuff with some schoolmates back in the day, stuff like that. Never really touched a lot of, creating our own music back then. But yeah, always wanted to try the whole band thing, but I was also I had quite a bad case of what you call like stage fright.
Right.
Performing in front of people, I hated that. I kind of still do sometimes, but it's gotten way better throughout the years.
I
But
see.
yeah, that's kind of how it all started. Yeah, sort of, roughly.
Right, got it. But would you say that you kind of like knew kind of from the beginning when you started playing that you wanted to play this type of music, or was that different back then, or?
No, it wasn't different. I mean, the cover stuff we did was different. That was a lot of. It was a bit of a heavy. I think the heaviest we got was like Motorhead, and then a lot of rock and roll stuff as well.
Right.
CC Top, some Offspring, more punk stuff, but always loved metal. Got into it when I was, I don't know, 6 or 7, along
Right.
with a lot of other stuff. I remember watching, I think you remember that too. Back in the day, we had MTV and VH1.
Yeah.
And had Headbangers Ball and VH1 sometimes showed like documentaries and, live performances. I remember watching Metallica. They had like the same concert playing sometimes on VH1, and I was like, it looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That huge space and just those guys giving it everything they got. Yeah, and always wanted to try that. I didn't, I didn't have any musical experience. I didn't go to like, what do you call it, like musical school or anything like that. So it's just,
Right.
yeah, figuring out how to get into this whole thing of playing music.
Got it. But you would say that was kind of like your introduction to the kind of like thrash metal.
Yeah, it was.
Got it.
Yeah.
So like I guess we could move a little bit more towards like the band itself. You did already talk a little bit about it, but would you talk a little bit more about when the band itself started and a little bit about how that happened to be and so on?
Yeah, sure. I'll gladly elaborate. You can always interrupt me if there's anything. So the band has existed for quite a lot of years, under different, people playing in the band, different names, all of that. But we've more or less chosen just to focus on the summer of 2018. So 8 years ago, when the band did another lineup change. They needed one or two new members, and Christian and I joined. Yeah, we joined at more or less the same time. And it was Christian played our singer and bassist. He played in another band from the same town, Horses,
Right.
Bellis Morton. And they were good friends, with Persecutor. The town isn't that big, so everybody kind of knows each other anyways. Um, but yeah, that band stopped a few years beforehand, and they were like, "We need a singer," so they already had Christian in mind, and I knew the guys, sort of, from everyday life, just privately. We used to hang out, drink beers on the weekends, stuff like that, and they asked me, like I mentioned earlier, if I wanted to come by the rehearsal space. They sent me a few songs and some guitar tabs I could look at. I could like try out, see how it worked out. And yeah, I'm still here.
Right.
They haven't kicked me out yet. That's because we already knew each other.
Yeah.
It was quite, I guess, easy. I think they had a few other people in mind, but we already got along. And I sort of knew Christian, through his older band. And yeah, like I said, already hung out with Christopher and Benjamin at that point. So it was kind of, already, at the beginning, it had that familiar feeling.
Right.
I was nervous, but I guess you have to be. You want to do good, but it's kind of sort of how it all started, and in that summer of 2018, and we've just been going at it ever since, trying to figure out how to maneuver this whole musical business thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like, kind of looking at it from a kind of like outsider perspective, so to speak, in regards to kind of like being a band, I can kind of imagine that it would be kind of like that process itself would be kind of easier if you know each other from before.
I think it is, yeah. You're not four total strangers.
Yeah.
Christian and I didn't know each other that much or that well, but we quickly got along because most metal hits, we kind of all like the same stuff.
Right.
We all have our nerdy hobbies, stuff like that. A lot of us do. So
Yeah.
it's easy, the four of us to get along. And again, it had that familiar feeling from the beginning. So yeah, I think it has, its advantages. And I think a lot of the bands you're talking with and the bands we're all seeing, and I think a lot of them, they started out the same way, just a bunch of friends, maybe a family member or two.
Yeah.
Christopher, they're what do you call it, like uncle and nephew.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they're related. But yeah, it helps. And there is some drama that has to be in a band, but again, we're all good friends, so we all
Yeah.
figure out how to move past it. So
Yeah, of course.
I definitely think it helps.
For sure. But I would also like to talk a little bit about kind of like the sound of the band and such. Like if someone is listening to this episode now, for example, and haven't heard you before, how would you kind of like summarize and explain what Persecutor is like?
Shit. Right. So I think we've reached the point, just for fun, where we just call it rock music.
Right.
Even though it's not. I think we've been given quite a few, what you call them, like sub labels. We call it rock music or thrash, but I would say it's a mixture between thrash and death metal. Kind of like the T-shirt I'm wearing.
Right.
Another Danish band. I'm not saying we're heavily inspired, but maybe. but a lot of yeah, death metal influences. So you can kind of sum up the whole 80s meeting the 90s death metal scene. So we just take all of our different influences, stuff we like, and just throw into a pot and just stir it. And
Right.
look like something we want to listen to. So yeah, some thrashy death metal stuff sprinkled with some melodic elements. I think a few reviews I've seen, they call us a metalcore band. Or a thrashcore, which I haven't heard of before, but
Right.
people tend to like all the sub-label stuff, and honestly, I don't, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't think we care. Thrashcore is
Right.
fine. There's there's a bunch of different elements, yeah, but thrashy death metal, I think that's gonna get you far enough. If that's your thing, I think you'll like what we're doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
And like, I do believe that it is probably a very good thing to kind of be very open-minded in that regard. And, you know, those type of like different subgenres that different people kind of apply to you, I think that is kind of a, what would you say, like a testament to that you are very open-minded in that regard.
Yeah, I think so. I think it also kind of comes down to the way we write music. Like I said, our different influences. We all like a bunch of different stuff, not just metal, but
Right.
music, all of
Yeah.
that. And a lot of it plays into the whole music writing process, the different inspirations, what each of us might be listening to, in a certain period of time. So I might be diving back into I don't know, Kill Switch Engage or all that
Yeah.
remix or something, that 2000s metalcore stuff. Or I might be listening to At the Gates or yeah. So again, there's a lot of different things playing into the songs we put together, but it's always based, around that same love for that
Right.
thrashy metal sound, like you take the early Sepultura records, they kind of like balanced, right between thrash metal and death metal. Kind of like to do that as well, without saying we're playing like Sepultura because we're not.
Right. Yeah, but like if I get you correctly, that like you can sense that the music you're listening to, and depending on which bands and styles and such you listen to, that kind of like has an effect on your own music when you write it. But would you say that kind of like it's almost like a opposite of that also, that you can like intentionally listen to certain styles of music because you kind of expect it to influence you in a certain way?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think we tried to avoid anything. I think we're kind
Right.
of. I think we're kind of. I can see like the way I explain it. It sounds like we're mixing a lot of stuff, but I think we kind
Right.
of found our way to create, the music we want to create. I think the new album sums it up pretty good. There's a bit of the melodic stuff here and there, but it's mostly condensed into, some uh, pretty fast, non bullshit, straightforward
Yeah.
songwriting. And I think that's the way we want to keep it, but without limiting ourselves. I think some of the music we listen to on each on our own, I don't think that's going to play that much of an influence. I like
Right.
a lot of electronic music, but I have no idea how to incorporate that. Plus,
Yeah.
I think I ever will. It's own thing. I just enjoy on my own.
Got it.
So sometimes you can let certain genres of bands inspire you, and some is just for pure listening, if that makes sense.
For sure. And that was something that you mentioned that I thought as well when listening to your music, that the kind of like very straight to the point feeling that you're very like really right at it, like straight to the point, which is something that I personally appreciate a lot with your music. And like, if I would kind of like explain what I view this at, I would probably see you as like a very thrash band that's very fast, very heavy, but being like thrash. But also, like you're saying, that you can tell some like influences here and there from maybe a little bit other places. But if you like that type of music, I believe that you'll like Persecutor for sure.
I always suck at, getting compliments. I can't stop smiling. I'm happy that it kind of gets the point across, because it's not something we take personally, but I remember back in the beginning when we started writing music together, the four of us now, we had some, I think, old fans from the older lineups that were like, what the fuck are those guys doing? Like, it's not thrash,
Right.
it's not thrash anymore or anything. And we were like, oh shit, sorry, but it's not to ruin your day or anything. But this is kind of like our take on how modern thrash can still mix, the old school elements. So yeah, we try to keep it straightforward and thrashy. And I'm glad, like you said, Johan, that we kind of get the point across. Pretty straightforward, no bullshit. Just the way we like it as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I would describe it.
I think it's the perfect description.
Yeah. But like I would also like to discuss the kind of like lyric and music arrangement of the band. So like if we start with the lyrics, for example, would you say that there's like one person in the band that kind of writes their lyrics, or is it more of a group effort, or what does that look like?
It is mostly okay. I'm guessing we can talk a bit about the whole writing experience,
Yeah.
because it kind of plays into how the lyrics are created. But lyrics are mostly handled by Christian and me. To sum it, it's not always like this, it's not always black
Right.
and white. But mostly, if Christian writes, a song or has an idea, he gets to write the lyrics. If I come up with an idea on my song, I write the lyrics. And that's pretty much it. Again, it's not always like that, but mostly we just write the lyrics for our own ideas. And then the other guitarist, Benjamin, when he comes up, he's honest about not being the greatest at writing lyrics. So he kind of tells us if he has an idea of like a song, could we go in this direction, this direction, and then either Christian takes it, I take it, or we try to come up with something together. On the new album, the song called 1984,
Yeah.
about that big bar fight that took place back in 1984. The song idea musically is Benjamin's, more or less the entire song. He just brought it
Right.
to band practice and was like, I have this, check this out. But I don't have any lyrics. And I think we got inspired by a podcast about big historical events, some more ridiculous than others.
Right.
And they mentioned that bar fight that took place a few hours from here. And we were like, how about we just write a song about that? And Benjamin was fine with it. He didn't care. So we took his song, and Christian and I created the lyrics together. And that's one way to do it. So yeah, we're pretty open. Again, we have three people being able to write riff. Benjamin, Christian, and Christian plays guitar as well.
Right.
He's pretty good at it. And then Christopher, he can always he doesn't play guitar, but he's actually pretty good at telling us, oh, could you maybe do that with the riff instead of that?
Right.
We test out different ideas. And because I used to play drums for a lot of years, I have my own a sense of what I like, and what I want the drums to do. So I'm always annoying him, poking him, saying, "Could you do like this? Could you do like this?"
Right.
And I think he fucking hates me sometimes, but we always figure it out in the end. And for the most part, I think his ideas turn out better. Mine are pretty simple, and he like builds upon my drumming ideas. So yeah, writing music in Persecutor, I think a lot of people would hate it, but it works for us. If that
Right.
makes sense. You know, there's a lot of people involved, but I kind of think for us at least, it has to be that way because I think, uh, I think personally, I think I would get annoyed at some point if I, couldn't get my ideas through or if I didn't have anything to say. There's we have our own rules. You can veto something, but mostly everything is up for discussion. Like you introduce your idea, you play it through. Everybody has to learn it, go through it a few times, and then once everybody's comfortable with the full song, or if it's just half an idea, when everybody's comfortable and we've played it enough times, we can kind of start discussing, details. Should we rearrange this part? Should this part be extended or all of that boring stuff? So it's a process, but I think everybody's able to say something, and I think it helps us in the end, even though it might add a few extra weeks of writing time until everybody's satisfied. But I
Right.
think the best, definitely.
For sure. And like you're saying, even if it takes some extra time, that would probably be worth it to really get the songs that you guys are the most like happy and so on with.
Yeah, definitely. I think it helps everyone, and also some of the ideas actually change in the studio as well. We've always, I don't know if you're getting into that later, just interrupt me if you are, but we've always been working with the same producer, a guy called Andreas, and he has this, again, he's a music producer. He just has this, ear for details.
Right.
He's he's not afraid. He knows us. Again, everything we've ever done, we've done with him. So he knows us, and he's not afraid of saying, "Oh, maybe you should try this, and you can add this, or maybe uh, drop that part or shorten it." And yeah, it's just the final touches when he when he sprinkles his magic on top. Yeah, it's the last bit of magic the song needs.
Right.
It's amazing.
But yeah, then it certainly sounds more like a kind of like a group effort type dynamic in Persecutor.
It is. I mean, most of the stuff, not all, but most of the stuff is, a full song. Either I created,
Right.
whatever we bring in. But I mean, sometimes, I think, as well, you get stuck on like something, you have like half a song, you played it so many times and you don't know what to add. And you're like, "Hey guys, I have this, introduce it. We can try to demo it, record it, and then, take it home and just nerd with it, um, each on our own, see if we can come up with something, and then like finish it together."
Got it.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of ways we we write music, and again, I think for some people they would absolutely hate it, but it works.
Right, absolutely. But like based on how you've described it, I would assume that when you're writing songs, it is usually kind of like built upon the instrumental parts first and then the lyrics.
It is. It is 100% is. I don't think for the 3 albums we've done, I don't think either Christian or me has ever just written lyrics down. We had laying around waiting for a song to be written. It's always the musical, the actual song first, and then we figure out, okay, what to do from here. I personally, I like to do that. We do a demo, I go home, put on my headphones, I sit at my computer or with my phone, and I dive into whatever, kind of like with the musical influences, like what inspires me right now, what affects me, and the genre being thrash metal, it's a lot of songs about war.
Right.
That's pretty original. I don't think anyone has ever done a song about war.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
And political issues and yeah, stuff like that. It's pretty original.
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of that and a lot of, for me at least, also a lot of what do you call it? Like, I'm a nerd. I like video games, horror movies, and stuff like that. So I kind of, yeah, pull out some inspiration from there as well. So whatever affects me sometimes. I have some ideas already for the new album about the themes or the songs I want to write. I haven't written anything down. I have a notepad where I just write down, I'll create a song about this, and then a song about this, and then a song about this. And then I'll write the lyrics later once the musical part is done.
Got it.
Might be super ineffective, but I need the music to like listen to and figure out, okay, I want Christian to sing this way, I want him to phrase this word this way, and then scream this part or growl this part, and then play around with it. And then comes the fun part, me introducing the lyrics to him and telling him, I want you to sing this line this way, this line this way, and this line.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of fun dictating how you want him to do it. And then like writing a song, you always, figure out what works and what doesn't work. And I think the record we just did and last record, we really tried to not just push ourselves, but try to push Christian as well when it comes to his performance. Not that he's done a bad job before, but like how far he
Right.
can push this guy really. And I think it really paid off. He's a he doesn't he looks like a jacked he is jacked nice guy, but when you push him, he can get angry,
Right.
in a good way. So it's always fun.
Got
And
it.
yeah, and seeing the faces when I introduce a song about something only I know and care about, and they're like, "What the fuck is this song about?" Don't worry, it's just sing. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, like you already mentioned it a little bit, but I would also like to talk about what the future plans of the bands are. Like you mentioned a little bit about the upcoming album, but if it's like upcoming shows or whatever it might be.
Yeah. We have a bunch of shows scheduled for, late summer, so August, September, and throughout the year of touring with the new album. We're bringing a Danish band called Koya along, and then we're finding some local support here and there. And the next show we have coming up is on August 1st, and I'm really looking forward to this one. We are playing and supporting The Haunted.
Right.
Yeah, in Copenhagen in a few weeks. Yeah, like 2-3 weeks until August 1st. And I love, again, speaking of musical influences,
Yeah.
me, The Haunted, love them. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So that's kind of like what's happening right now. We're internally discussing like what to do next, if we should put out an EP or just create a fourth album.
Right.
But I think everybody's just down for taking the time and just writing a complete album and creating the fourth album. It's a, like you can tell by the way we write music, it's a lengthy process. So there's no really finished songs yet. We have We have a few song ideas down, but again, they need lyrics, which
Right.
comes last. They need lyrics, and then I'm dusting off some. Yeah, I have a bunch of old ideas recorded still on my phone that I'm running through. Some more or less full songs, some just bits and pieces. And when I'm not really feeling inspired when I'm playing, I tend to look through my phone, finding those old ideas and like relearning them and see if I can like build something.
Yeah.
That's a way for me to do it because uh, personally for me the last year, most of 2025, I ruined my right arm,
Oh.
my right forearm. I think I don't know if you call it the same in English, but in Danish you call it tennis elbow. Like, yeah,
Oh, right.
if it's the correct, English term, but I ruined my wrist and my forearm. So playing guitar was like it got so bad at one point that even our slowest songs I couldn't get through them.
Right.
And it was horrible. So I haven't written any new music in a year. So going through those old ideas, building up my stamina again, it kind of helps me out because at a certain point I kind of almost lost interest because my arm was so fucked up and not being able to play music
Right.
and being able to play before. uh I got so pissed. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's taken a lot of time and it's gotten better. There's still a few things I struggle with, but that's my
Right.
own issue. It'll get better. So yeah, we're just taking our time and seeing what we come up with. Like I said, we have a few songs down, and I think we all want to. I think we set the bar quite high for ourselves with the latest album, and we want to. I think this new album is the best we've ever done. Blah blah blah. Um, Maybe they aren't. Maybe they are. But again, we want to try to push ourselves and keep pushing to see how far we can go. If we can play a little bit faster, a little bit heavier, more aggressive, see what kind of inspiration comes to us. I also like learning the other guys, their ideas and being like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool riff. Maybe I should draw some inspiration from that riff and then go home and see what I can come up with.
Right.
It's a lot of writing right now and balancing touring with the new album and everyday family life, jobs, all of that boring stuff we all have. Um, yeah, so there will be a new album, but I have no idea when. Hopefully,
Right.
yeah, it'll take some time, but we'll get there. Yeah. So that's pretty much what's going on in Persecutor. We're also looking into, we have some things already set for next year in 27. And we're, like every band, we're already looking at, festivals, contacting them, what to do, how to like sell this package, all of that management race thing. But yeah, we have plans, and we'll see we'll see how long it takes
For sure.
what we're done. But there will be a new album at some point.
That sounds great. But with that being said, I'm starting to run out of questions for you. But is there something else that you would like to talk about? For example, is there something you wish I asked about that I didn't, or just anything you would like to say before we wrap up?
No, I'm always happy, to meet people like you that want to, take an hour out of their day to just talk to a unknown band like us,
Right, of course.
spreading the word. It's always awesome because metal is, even though it's gotten bigger throughout the years, it's still like a niche genre. So we all have to support each other, even though we might not like the same kind of metal, but we're still playing, a niche genre. So for us, meeting people like you and all of the people we contacted who wanted to review the new album and stuff like that, it's just highly appreciated, because we don't have any label or anything, and this is not me trying to create a sub story or anything.
Right, I get it.
Yeah, on their softer side, it's just awesome. I think we hoped we did a marketing campaign, quite a big one, at least for us, with the new album, and we got some, attention, what do you want to call it, out of it, some reviews, some media mentions, but we hope for a little bit more without sounding like a total ass. So right now we're just digging in, finding people like me, different underground sites, stuff like that. We wanna talk with a random guy like me on a Tuesday night.
Right, of course.
Yeah, dumb Danish thrash metal. So yeah, it's just thanks to you guys, for helping spreading the word and keeping, bands like us in, people's minds. And it's also, I like to personally go through stuff like your page to see like who you talking to, see if there's any like undiscovered music for me to, add to my playlist. So hopefully people do the same, like take 5 minutes out of their day to like scroll through, see if there's anything, because you discover a lot of like really good music.
Right.
That because there's a lot of really, we're not that talented, but there's a lot of talented people out there who aren't on any labels, don't have any management. We kind of rely on this whole process like we're doing right now to push their music out there. And it's a great way to discover some really awesome stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm happy.
Yeah, thank you so very much for the kind words. And of course, the feeling goes both ways. And we're, of course, very thankful and want to thank you so much for taking the time and making this episode. And of course, we wish you guys all the great luck for the future of the band.
Thank you so much. And just if there's anything, you can always reach out. And when we're doing a new album, I guess we should do a catch-up at some point.
That sounds like a great idea.
Awesome, man.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Johan. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure for me as well. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
And on that note, that is the end of this episode. But now we want to encourage you to go and listen to Persecutor and give these guys some support. Go follow them, share their music, etc. That type of support does help these bands a lot, so please consider doing that. Of course, we also want to thank you so very much for listening and supporting us at Metal Verbalizers. It is something that we truly appreciate a lot, so thank you very much for that. We will be back to verbalize again next week.